You are about to see foods that decided life or death. Not recipes, not comfort meals, survival. Because on the American frontier, there were no grocery stores, no help, no second chances. And by the end of this video, you're going to question what you call food, especially when you see number 3 and number 7, but nothing prepares you for number 1, because that wasn't just food. That was desperation. Let's begin. When people think of American pioneers, they imagine strength, but they don't imagine hunger, real hunger, the kind that forces you to eat whatever keeps you breathing one more day. This wasn't cooking, this was strategy. And these are the foods that made survival possible, starting with number 18, salt pork. It doesn't look special, just chunks of pork packed in heavy salt. But this was survival gold, because fresh meat didn't last. Out on the frontier, meat rotted fast, days, sometimes hours. Salt changed everything. It pulled moisture out, killed bacteria, made meat last for weeks, even months. Pioneers carried it in barrels during long journeys west. They ate it with beans, cornbread, sometimes just alone. Hard, salty, tough, but it didn't spoil, and that was enough. Because out there, food that lasted meant you lasted. Number 17, hardtack. If you've never heard of it, imagine a cracker. Now remove the taste, remove the softness, remove everything that makes it enjoyable. What's left is hardtack. Flour, water, sometimes salt, baked until it becomes rock solid. So hard, people called it tooth breakers. But here's the truth. Hardtack could last for years, not days, years. No mold, no rot. Pioneers, soldiers, travelers, they all depended on it. They soaked it in water or coffee just to make it chewable. Sometimes it had bugs inside, and they still ate it. Because this wasn't food, this was time. More days to live. Number 15, pemmican. This was powerful, and honestly, ahead of its time. Pemmican was made from dried meat, usually bison, mixed with fat and sometimes berries. That's it. But this mixture created something incredible. High energy, long shelf life, easy to carry. Perfect for survival. Native Americans used it long before pioneers arrived, and when pioneers learned about it, it changed everything. A small portion could fuel a person for an entire day. No cooking needed, no preparation, just eat and keep moving, because stopping too long could get you killed. Number 15, Johnny cakes. At first, this feels like real food. Cornmeal, water, maybe a little salt, cooked over an open fire, simple flatbread. But don't let that fool you. Johnny cakes existed because wheat flour was rare, corn was everywhere, cheap, accessible, reliable. So pioneers adapted. They made do. These cakes were dry, dense, sometimes burned, but they filled the stomach. And when you're starving, that's all that matters. Number 14, wild onions. This is where things get dangerous, because not everything in the wild is safe. Wild onions grew across the frontier, easy to find, strong smell, seemed like a blessing. But here's the risk. Some poisonous plants looked almost identical. One mistake, and it was over. Still, pioneers took the chance. They dug them up, ate them raw, cooked them in stews.
because hunger doesn't wait for certainty, it forces decisions, risky ones, and sometimes those decisions didn't end well. Number 13. Squirrel meat. Not ideal, not preferred, but available. Squirrels were everywhere in the forests, small, fast, hard to catch, but not impossible, and when food ran out, they became a target. The meat was lean, not much fat, not much meat at all, but it was protein, and that was enough. Pioneers trapped them, shot them, cooked them over fire. Every bite mattered, nothing wasted, because this wasn't a choice, this was survival. Number 12. Dandelion greens. Most people see weeds, pioneers saw food. Dandelions grew everywhere, fields, roadsides, open land, easy to ignore but impossible to starve around. They ate the leaves, sometimes raw, sometimes boiled. Bitter taste, not enjoyable, but full of nutrients, vitamins that kept people alive longer. Because survival isn't just about calories, it's about staying strong enough to keep going. Number 11. Corn mush. Soft, plain, basic. Cornmeal mixed with water, cooked into a thick porridge. That's it. No flavor, no excitement, but it filled the stomach. It was warm, and it was reliable. Families ate it daily, morning, night, over and over again, because when options disappear, repetition becomes survival, and this was enough. This is where things change. Because the next foods, they weren't just about survival, they were about desperation, about pushing limits, about eating things most people today wouldn't even consider. And yet, they did, because they had to. Now we're getting into the foods people didn't talk about, the ones hidden behind survival stories. Because these weren't just hard, they were desperate. And once you see what